Chosen one. What I'm about to reveal will completely transform your understanding of a word that was spoken over you years ago, a prophecy that was declared when you were younger, a promise that was given when circumstances looked nothing like what was prophesied, when situations contradicted what was promised, when reality opposed what was spoken. You heard it, you received it, you believed it initially. But as time passed, as years accumulated, as nothing seemed to manifest, you began to doubt. You started to question. You slowly forgot. Not completely, not entirely, but that prophecy moved from the forefront of your mind to the background, from active expectation to passive memory, from present hope to past encouragement. But heaven didn't forget. Divine forces never stopped working on it. Supernatural powers never ceased orchestrating it. The prophecy you forgot is about to fulfill itself. Tonight, you're going to understand exactly what prophecy is awakening, why it's manifesting now, how everything that delayed it was actually developing it, what the fulfillment will look like, and most importantly, what you must do to cooperate with the manifestation that's beginning right now, in dimensions you can't see but will soon see in reality you can touch. You're going to witness what happens when prophetic word that was dormant becomes active, when divine promise that was sleeping awakens, when heavenly declaration that was silent begins speaking through circumstances, situations, and undeniable manifestations. The prophecy came years ago. Maybe it was spoken by a prophet who didn't even know you well. Perhaps it was declared by a minister who was just passing through. Possibly it was given by a spiritual leader who has since moved on. Or maybe it was whispered directly by God in your prayer time, revealed by heaven in your worship moment, downloaded by divine forces in your meditation space. However it came, whoever spoke it, whenever it was given, you remember it. Maybe not every word, maybe not every detail, but you remember the essence, the core, the fundamental promise that was made about your future, about your destiny, about what God was going to do in your life, through your life, with your life. The prophecy was specific. It talked about influence you'd have. It described platform you'd occupy. It detailed wealth you'd possess. It outlined relationships you'd form. It specified territory you'd take. It declared authority you'd carry. It promised impact you'd make. It revealed transformation you'd experience. Whatever the specifics, the prophecy was big. Bigger than your current reality, larger than your present circumstances, greater than your existing situation. And that bigness is why you struggled to hold on to it as time passed. Because here's what happened. You heard prophecy with excitement. You received it with joy. You believed it with faith. But then nothing happened. Not immediately, not quickly, not even gradually for what seemed like reasonable time frame. Days became weeks with no movement. Weeks became months with no progress. Months became years with no manifestation. And slowly, quietly, subtly, the prophecy moved from your active faith to your passive memory. You didn't reject it, you didn't deny it, you didn't renounce it, you just stopped actively expecting it, ceased constantly believing for it, quit continuously hoping for it. And that's when heaven began the real work. Because here's what most people don't understand about prophecy. Prophecy isn't just prediction. Prophecy is activation. When genuine prophecy is spoken, it doesn't just announce what will happen. It initiates process that makes it happen. It releases forces that bring it to pass. It activates powers that manifest it in reality. The prophecy spoken over you years ago wasn't just words. Those words were seeds planted in spiritual soil, assignments given to angelic forces, instructions delivered to divine powers about what to arrange, what to orchestrate, what to manifest in your life. Let me show you exactly what prophecy is about to fulfill. First, the prophecy about your influence is about to fulfill. Someone spoke over you years ago that you would influence multitudes, that you would reach masses, that you would impact crowds. At the time, you were nobody. You had no platform. You possessed no reach. You carried no influence. The prophecy seemed impossible, felt unrealistic, appeared exaggerated, and as years passed with you remaining in obscurity, remaining unknown, remaining without platform, you forgot that prophecy about influence. You released it from active faith. You stopped believing for it actively. But heaven never forgot. Divine forces never stopped working. While you forgot, angels were positioning people who would become your audience. While you released it, heaven was arranging circumstances that would create your platform. While you stopped believing actively, divine powers were orchestrating situations that would establish your reach. The prophecy about your influence was working even when you weren't working it, manifesting even when you weren't expecting it, developing even when you weren't watching for it. Watch what's happening right now. Doors are opening to platforms you didn't apply for. Invitations are arriving to speak to audiences you didn't pursue. Opportunities are manifesting to influence crowds you didn't target. This isn't random. This isn't coincidence. This isn't luck. This is prophecy fulfilling itself. This is divine word manifesting. This is heavenly declaration actualizing. The influence that was promised years ago is breaking through right now. The reach that was prophesied when you were nobody is manifesting now that everything is aligned. The platform that was declared when you had nothing is appearing now that preparation is complete. Second, the prophecy about your provision is about to fulfill. Someone spoke over you years ago that you would never lack, that resources would flow to you, that abundance would be your portion. At the time, you were struggling financially. You were experiencing lack. You were dealing with scarcity. The prophecy seemed contrary to reality, opposite to circumstances, contradictory to situations. And as years passed with continued financial pressure, ongoing material limitation, persistent resource constraint, you forgot that prophecy about provision. You let it slip from expectation. You allowed it to fade from hope. But heaven never forgot. Divine forces never stopped arranging. While you forgot, angels were positioning resources that would flow to you. While you released expectation, heaven was orchestrating opportunities that would bring provision. While you let it fade, divine powers were preparing channels through which abundance would manifest. The prophecy about your provision was working even when you stopped claiming it, developing even when you stopped declaring it, manifesting even when you stopped expecting it. Watch what's happening right now. Money is manifesting from unexpected sources. Resources are arriving through surprising channels. Provision is appearing in ways you didn't anticipate. Opportunities are emerging that carry financial breakthrough. Doors are opening that lead to material abundance. This isn't random blessing. This isn't coincidental favor. This isn't lucky break. This is prophecy fulfilling itself. This is divine promise materializing. This is heavenly declaration actualizing. The provision that was promised years ago is flowing right now. The abundance that was prophesied during your lack is manifesting now that timing is right. The resources that were declared when you had nothing are appearing now that preparation is finished. Third, the prophecy about your relationships is about to fulfill. Someone spoke over you years ago that you would find divine connections, that you would form strategic partnerships, that you would establish meaningful alliances. At the time, you were alone. You were isolated. You were without the relationships prophecy described. The word seemed unlikely, felt improbable, appeared too good to be true. And as years passed with continued isolation, ongoing aloneness, persistent disconnection, you forgot that prophecy about relationships. You stopped actively looking for those connections. You ceased expecting those partnerships. But heaven never forgot. Divine forces never stopped orchestrating. While you forgot, angels were preparing people who would become your connections. While you stopped looking, heaven was positioning individuals who would form partnerships with you. While you ceased expecting, divine powers were arranging circumstances that would facilitate divine alliances. The prophecy about your relationships was working even when you weren't networking, developing even when you weren't pursuing, manifesting even when you weren't seeking. Watch what's happening right now. People are appearing who understand you. Individuals are emerging who support your vision. Connections are forming who advance your purpose. These aren't random meetings. These aren't coincidental encounters. These aren't chance relationships. This is prophecy fulfilling itself. This is divine word connecting. This is heavenly declaration networking. The relationships that were promised years ago are forming right now. The connections that were prophesied during your isolation are manifesting now that you're ready. The partnerships that were declared when you were alone are emerging now that timing is perfect. Fourth, the prophecy about your authority is about to fulfill. Someone spoke over you years ago that you would carry spiritual authority, that you would operate in divine power, that you would function with heavenly backing. At the time you felt powerless. You sensed weakness. You experienced limitation. The prophecy seemed exaggerated, felt overstated, appeared grandiose. And as years passed, with continued sense of powerlessness, ongoing feeling of weakness, persistent experience of limitation, you forgot that prophecy about authority. You stopped claiming that power. You ceased expecting that backing. But heaven never forgot. Divine forces never stopped developing. While you forgot, angels were training you through trials. While you stopped claiming, heaven was developing you through difficulties. While you ceased expecting, divine powers were equipping you through challenges. The prophecy about your authority was being developed even when you weren't aware. Being established even when you weren't watching, being confirmed even when you weren't expecting. Every trial you survived increased your authority. Every difficulty you overcame expanded your power. Every challenge you conquered deepened your backing. Watch what's happening right now. When you speak, things shift. When you pray, circumstances change. When you declare, situations transform. This isn't imagination. This isn't coincidence. This isn't psychological. This is prophecy fulfilling itself. This is divine authority activating. This is heavenly power manifesting. The authority that was promised years ago is operating right now. The power that was prophesied when you felt weak is functioning now that you've been tested. The backing that was declared when you seemed powerless is active now that you've been proven. Fifth, the prophecy about your purpose is about to fulfill. Someone spoke over you years ago that you would fulfill significant purpose, that you would accomplish important mission, that you would complete divine assignment. At the time, you had no clarity about purpose. You possessed no understanding of mission. You carried no revelation of assignment. The prophecy seemed vague, felt unclear, appeared uncertain. And as years passed with continued lack of clarity, ongoing absence of understanding, persistent void of revelation, you forgot that prophecy about purpose. You stopped seeking that clarity, you ceased pursuing that understanding, but heaven never forgot. Divine forces never stopped revealing. While you forgot, angels were orchestrating experiences that would clarify purpose. While you stopped seeking, heaven was arranging circumstances that would reveal mission. While you ceased pursuing, divine powers were positioning situations that would expose assignment. The prophecy about your purpose was being unveiled even when you weren't asking, being clarified even when you weren't seeking, being revealed even when you weren't pursuing. Every experience you had was piece of puzzle. Every circumstance you encountered was part of picture. Every situation you navigated was element of revelation. Watch what's happening right now. Your purpose is becoming crystal clear. Your mission is emerging unmistakably. Your assignment is revealing undeniably. Suddenly you understand why you're here. Abruptly you recognize what you're meant to do. Unexpectedly you perceive what you're called to accomplish. This isn't sudden inspiration. This isn't random revelation. This isn't coincidental clarity. This is prophecy fulfilling itself. This is divine purpose unveiling. This is heavenly assignment manifesting. The purpose that was promised years ago is becoming clear right now. The mission that was prophesied when you were confused is emerging now that preparation is complete. The assignment that was declared when you had no understanding is revealing now that timing is right. Now let me show you why this prophecy is fulfilling now. First, your character has been developed. Prophecy can't fulfill before character is ready to sustain what prophecy promises. Influence without character creates corruption. Provision without character produces destruction. Authority without character generates oppression. Purpose without character manifests disaster. Heaven had to develop your character before fulfilling prophecy. Every trial developed integrity. Every difficulty strengthened honesty. Every challenge deepened authenticity. Now your character can sustain what prophecy promises, support what divine word declares, maintain what heavenly declaration manifests. Second, divine timing has arrived. There's specific time for everything. Ecclesiastes teaches this clearly. Time to plant, time to harvest, time to wait, time to move, time for prophecy to be spoken, time for prophecy to be fulfilled. Your prophecy was spoken at right time, but that wasn't fulfillment time. That was activation time, initiation time, beginning time. Since then, forces have been working, powers have been arranging, circumstances have been orchestrating. Now divine timing has arrived. Now heavenly schedule has reached appointed moment. Now cosmic calendar has hit marked date for fulfillment. Third, all necessary pieces are in position. Prophecy fulfillment requires multiple elements aligned simultaneously. People must be positioned. Circumstances must be arranged. Resources must be gathered. Opportunities must be prepared. All of this takes time. While you forgot prophecy, heaven was positioning people. While you released expectation, divine forces were arranging circumstances. While you stopped actively believing, supernatural powers were gathering resources and preparing opportunities. Now everything is in position. Now all pieces are aligned. Now every element is ready for prophecy to manifest. Fourth, your enemy's interference has been removed. They tried to prevent prophecy fulfillment. They worked to block manifestation. They schemed to stop actualization. But their time has expired. Their influence has ended. Their power has terminated. What they tried to prevent, they cannot prevent now. What they worked to block, they cannot block now. What they schemed to stop, they cannot stop now. Divine protection has neutralized their interference. Heavenly defense has eliminated their obstruction. Supernatural shielding has removed their opposition. Path is clear for prophecy to fulfill. Fifth, your faith is being reactivated. You forgot prophecy actively but never forgot it completely. It was always there, dormant but present, inactive but existing, sleeping but alive. Now heaven is reactivating your faith. This message is part of that reactivation. These words are awakening dormant belief. This revelation is reviving sleeping expectation. As faith reactivates, prophecy accelerates toward fulfillment. Your believing doesn't create prophecy fulfillment, but your believing does cooperate with prophecy fulfillment. Now your faith is being awakened. Your expectation is being revived. Your hope is being restored at exact moment when prophecy is ready to manifest. Here's what you must do as prophecy fulfills. First, remember it clearly. Go back to that moment. Recall those words. Remember that prophecy. Write it down if you haven't already. Record what was spoken. Document what was promised. This isn't living in past. This is anchoring in promise. This isn't dwelling on memory. This is standing on declaration. This isn't focusing backward. This is holding forward with clear remembrance of what was spoken, what was promised, what was declared over your life, your future, your destiny. Clear memory protects against doubt when manifestation begins. When prophecy starts fulfilling, enemy attacks with doubt. Is this really it? Maybe you're imagining things, perhaps you're seeing what you want to see. Clear memory of prophecy answers doubt. This is exactly what was spoken, this matches what was promised, this aligns with what was declared. Remember prophecy clearly, write it down, speak it often, keep it before you. Second, expect it actively. Move prophecy from passive memory to active expectation, from background thought to foreground focus, from occasional recollection to constant anticipation. Start expecting influence to manifest. Start watching for provision to arrive. Start looking for relationships to form. Start anticipating authority to activate. Start seeking purpose to clarify. Active expectation positions you to recognize fulfillment when it begins, to cooperate with manifestation as it unfolds, to participate in actualization as it develops. Active expectation isn't passive waiting. Active expectation is engaged watching, alert observing, prepared receiving. You're watching for signs of fulfillment. You're observing circumstances for indications of manifestation. You're prepared to receive what's coming. This active expectation creates readiness that passive forgetting cannot create, positions you in ways dormant memory cannot position, prepares you in manner sleeping faith cannot prepare. Third, cooperate with it obediently. Prophecy fulfilling will require your participation. Not your striving, but your obedience. Not your manipulation, but your cooperation. Not your forcing, but your following. Heaven will open doors. You must walk through them. Divine forces will create opportunities. You must seize them. Supernatural powers will arrange circumstances. You must respond to them. Your cooperation is essential. Your obedience is necessary. Your following is required. When door opens to platform, walk through it even if you don't feel ready. When opportunity appears for provision, pursue it even if it seems unconventional. When connection forms for relationship, engage it even if it feels uncomfortable. When authority activates in situation, use it even if you feel inadequate. When purpose clarifies in moment, act on it even if you're uncertain. Cooperation with prophecy requires obedience beyond comfort, action beyond certainty, movement beyond readiness. Fourth, protect it carefully. As prophecy begins fulfilling, everyone will have opinion. Some will celebrate, others will criticize, some will support, others will sabotage, some will encourage, others will discourage. Protect prophecy from negative voices, critical spirits, discouraging influences. Not everyone deserves to know what's manifesting. Not everyone should hear about what's developing. Not everyone needs to understand what's actualizing. Share selectively. Tell those who will celebrate with you. Inform people who will support you. Update individuals who will encourage you. But protect from those who will criticize, from people who will discourage, from individuals who will speak doubt. Prophecy in early stages of manifestation is tender, vulnerable, fragile. It needs protection from voices that would abort it, from influences that would hinder it, from spirits that would stop it. Fifth, give God glory continuously. As prophecy fulfills, remember source. Remember who spoke it. Remember who arranged it. Remember who manifested it. This isn't your doing. This isn't your achievement. This isn't your accomplishment. This is divine faithfulness, heavenly reliability, supernatural trustworthiness. God kept His word. Heaven fulfilled its promise. Divine forces manifested what was declared. Give glory continuously. Give thanks repeatedly. Give honor constantly. Glory to God protects from pride. Thanks to heaven maintains humility. Honor to divine forces preserves perspective. As influence increases, give God glory. As provision flows, thank heaven. As relationships form, honor divine forces. As authority activates, glorify God. As purpose clarifies, praise heaven. Continuous glory, repeated thanks, constant honor keep you grounded in reality that everything fulfilling is divine work. Heavenly faithfulness, supernatural power, not human achievement, earthly success, natural accomplishment. Here's what I want you to understand about ultimate significance of forgotten prophecy fulfilling. This isn't just personal blessing. This is divine testimony. This is heavenly witness. This is supernatural demonstration to everyone watching that God keeps His word. Heaven fulfills its promises. Divine forces manifest what they declare. Prophecy fulfilling years after being spoken, long after being forgotten. Far beyond expected time frame proves divine faithfulness, demonstrates heavenly reliability, validates supernatural trustworthiness. Everyone who knew about prophecy is watching. Everyone who heard what was spoken is observing. Everyone who remembers what was promised is witnessing. They're seeing prophecy fulfill exactly as spoken, manifest precisely as promised, actualize specifically as declared. And they're learning that God's timing isn't human timing. Heaven's schedule isn't earthly schedule. Divine calendar isn't natural calendar. They're discovering that delay isn't denial. Waiting isn't wasted. Time passage isn't promise failure. Your fulfilling prophecy teaches them to hold on to their prophecies, to keep believing their promises, to maintain faith in their declarations. Your manifestation encourages them to not forget what was spoken over them, to not release what was promised to them, to not abandon what was declared about them. Your actualization demonstrates that prophecy's fulfillment isn't dependent on their perfect faith, their constant remembering, their unbroken expectation. Prophecy fulfills because God is faithful, heaven is reliable, divine forces are trustworthy regardless of human consistency, earthly steadfastness, natural persistence. So, chosen one, embrace this revelation. The prophecy you forgot is about to fulfill itself, not because you remembered it perfectly, because God never forgot it, not because you believed it constantly, because heaven always believed it, not because you expected it continuously, because divine forces always expected it. The prophecy is fulfilling, the promise is manifesting, the declaration is actualizing, right now. This moment, this season. Your influence is breaking through, your provision is flowing, your relationships are forming, your authority is activating, your purpose is clarifying. Everything that was spoken years ago is manifesting now. Everything that was promised when circumstances were different is actualizing now. Everything that was declared when situations were opposite is fulfilling now. Not approximately, not partially, not symbolically, exactly. Completely, literally, watch for it. It's happening, expect it. It's manifesting, receive it, it's arriving. The prophecy you forgot is about to fulfill itself. And when it does, when influence manifests undeniably, when provision flows unmistakably, when relationships form obviously, when authority operates powerfully, when purpose clarifies absolutely, everyone will know. Everyone will see. Everyone will recognize that this is divine work, heavenly faithfulness, supernatural power, keeping word spoken years ago, fulfilling promise declared long ago, manifesting prophecy given when nothing looked like prophecy described. The prophecy you forgot is about to fulfill itself. Remember it now. Expect it actively, cooperate with it obediently, protect it carefully, give God glory continuously, and watch as everything spoken manifests, everything promised actualizes, everything declared fulfills before your eyes and before everyone watching. The prophecy you forgot, heaven never forgot, and now it's time. Time for fulfillment, time for manifestation, time for actualization. The prophecy you forgot is about to fulfill itself right now.